Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Home Service Hustle. I'm your host, Jonathan Bannister, and today I'm with Casey Mullis. Casey's with True Blue, started the company in 2018, but let's talk about the backstory a little bit. First, welcome to the show, Casey. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
So let's talk about your history. I think it's part of your story. So you kind of had a interesting, rough, teenage years maybe, and got into a little bit of trouble, and kind of had drugs and stuff as your past. But obviously, that's part of who you are today, and it's kind of built you into probably the leader and business owner you are today. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so teenage years, I had a lot of freedom. Then could do whatever I wanted pretty much. So, I mean, at an early age, 13 or whatever, I started drinking, smoking, and then as I got older, that got worse. So probably 16, 17, I was already doing coke and stuff like that. And around 18, I got on meth. And then I was selling drugs in school. And then let's say about eighth grade, I got caught selling drugs at school. I got banned from the school I was going to, got sent to alternative school, went there for a year, went to another school after that. Ultimately ended up dropping out, just hanging out with friends every day, just living the dream. I was
Yeah.
kicking it. I was kicking it, making money. Well, 19, I got in trouble, got caught selling from the police, and got sentenced to 12 years in prison at 19 years old.
Really?
Yep. So went there for a little while. I got out. I was out for a year. I was still hanging out with the same crowd, so was right back in the bullshit. Got caught again, fighting, and then I went back to prison for my second time. I got out at 26 and realized I just had to change everything. I had to change who I was hanging out with, what I was doing. I mean, everything.
How long was the first stint, and how long was the second one?
The first one was 2 years. I was out for a year, then I went back and did three more.
So you were sentenced to 12, only did 2, but then got back because you got in
Yeah, I
trouble.
got on parole and then went back because I got in trouble again.
And then the second time was how long?
The second time I did 3 years.
3 years. What was that like?
Man, I mean, it ain't as bad as everybody thinks it is. I mean,
No.
it has its moments where everybody thinks it is. Like seeing people get stabbed, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's intense. Got into some fights in there. But my thing was that's where I started reading and educating myself on stuff. I mean, you got free time on your hands, you're chilling every day.
Yeah.
So that's why I started reading, learning. Um, I actually went to the law library and was studying for the case I was going up against, and actually pretty much beat my case by going to the law library and doing the research. So
That's
I
awesome.
don't know, I got hooked on learning there, and then I'd call home, talk to my friends every few months, few years, and they'd be doing the same thing every weekend. Every weekend, going to the same place, doing the same thing. And I'm like, man, y'all are worse than I am. Y'all are stuck in this cycle.
Yeah.
And I was like, y'all are out there able to do whatever you want, and y'all are choosing to just get messed up every weekend. That's it. And I was forced to just sit still and pause my life. So when I got out, I knew like I wanted something better. I don't want to keep going to jail. I don't want to be on drugs. I don't want to do none of that. So I got out. My dad was in HVAC for years. So he got me a job when I got out as a commercial installer.
Okay.
So I did that for about a year. We was on this job site, and this dude comes in, clean shirt, designer jeans on, little bitty tool bag. And I was like, man, what are you doing? I done been busting my ass. I'm dirty. Like, been working my ass off.
Y'all
I was
weren't
like, what are
dressed
you?
as y'all weren't dressed for the same job.
Nah, yeah, we got two different jobs. We got the
Yeah.
same logo on the shirt.
He's like, I do
So
HVAC. He's like, no. That's what I do. Like, what the hell is this?
yeah, that's why I was like, what do you do? And he's like, I was like, what are you here for? He's like, I'm here to start the units up. And I said, what do you got to do? He's like, put Freon in them, wire a couple wires together. I was like, well, like, what's your job title? He's like, I was like, I need to know this. He's like, I'm a tech. And I was like, well, how do I get there? And he's like, you go to school. So I went home that day, registered for tech school, got online and got approved for FAFSA and grants and started trade school for free. So
Nice.
I went to Tennessee Tech, or TCAT is what they call it, College of Applied Technology. But it's an 18-month course. I went for 9 months, and since I was already in the field, they let me co-op the other 9 months.
Oh,
So it was
nice.
great.
And so, what happened after that? You
So
found a
I got my
residential company?
certificate. I got my certificate. I started going to different, because the company I was at didn't want me to transfer from installer to a tech.
Okay.
So I was like, look, I'd like to stay here, but if y'all ain't gonna let me make that jump, then I'm going. So I started looking at other companies, and as an installer, they really don't care about your background because nobody's there, and
Yeah.
especially in commercial, you're in a brick building.
Right.
But once went to residential and I started applying for tech, then my background became an issue.
Okay.
But I just kept going. I ain't let it hold me down. So I just kept going and kept going. And then I went to one company and he's like, man, we really don't hire felons. I was like, look, dude. I said, just give me a chance. I said, man, if there's any problems, you can fire me on the spot. I was like, just give me a shot. And he was like, dude, if a piece of gum comes up missing, you're gone. I was like, deal. I was like, deal. So he gave me a shot, and I started out as a maintenance tech. And then just, man, I picked up on it so quick because I've been around it.
Right.
And I mean, I was running calls probably 3 months later.
What year was this?
This was 2016.
Okay. So then you do this for 2 years. You got a lot of
Well, no, I'll
experience.
take that back. That was 2014. So yeah, after I got out, I did install for a year, went to school. So it was like 14, 15.
Okay.
And then I worked for that company for 2 years. That manager left, went to another company, and called me and got me to swap companies, brought me over there where he was at.
That's cool. That's cool to hear
Yeah.
that, he gave you the chance, took a risk, but then knew he wanted
Yeah,
you
and
in the
then
next place.
wanted me to follow him. So yeah, gave me a little ego boost. But I
Yeah.
went there. I was there for a couple years, um, and then I don't know what happened. I had a wild hair up my ass. Thought I could do everything on my own. Thought because I was the one fixing the equipment, I was the backbone of the company. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I recently sold a house. I had a bunch of money, and I was like, this is the time to do it. If I'm gonna do it, I can live off of that while I get my business going. And the thing that helped me out the most when I opened my business is I realized I wasn't doing something that ain't been done before.
Okay.
I realized it's been done hundreds of times. People are very successful at it.
Right.
So I knew all I had to do was reach out to them, find out what they're doing that's working, and just copy them. And then let go of my pride and ask for help.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to do it on your own. Ask for help. Because I knew nothing about business. I knew how to fix air conditioners, which
So
is just a small part in the aspect of running a business.
that you started in 18,
Yeah.
and then how did those, let's say, how did year 1 and 2 go compared to how things are now?
Oh, dude, I was working for free.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how to price nothing. I didn't know what my overhead was. I mean, I had no clue about anything. And I hired and coaching. I started coaching probably a year in. I
Okay.
went to a bunch of the different home service coaching programs. I hired an accountant coach that taught me bookkeeping for like a year. Like, because that's one thing I struggled with the most was QuickBooks. Like,
Okay.
I struggled with it, but I conquered it. Now I have somebody that does it for me. I know how to check it, make sure it's all good. and then still doing coaching, training. I go to plenty of events. Just keep learning.
So what is the business look like today? What you started in 18, how many techs do you have? How many installers do you have now?
So we started in 18. It was me and a helper for a while, and then last year I had two techs, sub crew, dispatcher, and then this year it's just been brutal. I don't know what it was. It's just been brutal. So I've actually dialed back to just me and the dispatcher right now.
Really? So
Hmm.
what have you seen, or what would you like say is different this year from last year?
Call volume was down. Our revenue is way down.
But is call volume like, have you looked at how off call volume is compared to like the actual closed invoice numbers or
Yeah, our call
not
volume was almost half of what it
really?
was last year.
And
Yeah.
have you figured out maybe what's caused that? I mean, I understand people not moving forward with
Yeah.
replacements, right? With the economy
Right.
and political state, whatever, whatever that may be. But I feel like we're at that tail end of like the COVID days are over,
Yeah.
and I think it's finally catching up to people.
Yeah. This has been our worst year since COVID. Like it's been brutal, but just gotta figure out how to keep going.
Yeah.
So I've teamed up with a company out of Nashville for my social media, getting more active on social media and doing leads out there. Just trying to be diverse in where you get your leads from. Like you can't
Yeah.
put all your eggs in one basket.
100%. What are y'all doing for? I mean, you got a really cool brand,
Yeah.
the True Blue brand. Like, what do y'all do throughout the community to try to get your brand out there as much as possible?
So we have door hangers. When we go to a service call, we do three side by side, five across the street with the door hangers.
Okay.
We do community events. We sponsor all the local schools, cheerleading teams, softball, baseball. Uh, just try to be involved in the community as much as we can. Like Halloween, we'll do a trunk or treat. We'll
Yep.
set up a booth, stuff like that.
Um, what have you found that's worked? Like last year that was working for you in marketing, but that you saw in 2025 is not working.
Well, last year we wasn't really even doing marketing, and
Okay.
that's the crazy part. So we had dialed back our marketing last year because we were covered up. Well, this year we're having to restart everything. So we're doing PPC, like I said, doing Facebook, Instagram, getting back on Yelp, just trying to start from the bottom, just Facebook group pages, just doing anything we can to get some leads.
Yeah, I think the big thing to look out for is that you're doing the right thing with the community stuff. I mean, as much as you can double down there and get involved, because I really think um, digital is getting ready to get really hard, right? Just because it's going to be so diverse with where people are. I mean, ChatGPT is getting
Hmm.
over a billion searches or whatever you want to call it a day,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, those people once were using Google, and they're not now.
Well, so
So
chat's pulling their information off of Google because I had a customer told me he found me off of chat.
yeah,
And then my daughter was in the car the other day and she got on chat and Googled best HVAC company in Columbia, Tennessee, and we popped up number one.
yeah. Well, so they're it's pulling it from Bing is where
Yeah.
ChatGPT is coming from. It's coming from Bing. So yeah, your SEO results and stuff are going to matter, but also it's going to pull brand signals. So anything that the social media stuff you're talking about, like the more engagement you can get reviews, but get reviews from multiple places. Like don't just get
Yeah.
them from Google. If you can get them from Yelp or other places, because it's going to
Yeah.
take into consideration. Like you'll never see ChatGPT say they have 400 Google reviews. No, it's going to say they have 446 reviews on 6 different platforms, because it's a direct competitor to Google. So it's never going to
Right.
put anything Google related there. Um, what about, have y'all have y'all seen or heard like in the community of like that people are just tighter with their money right now? From last
I
year.
mean, from everybody, I got a big network of contractors and friends with different
Yeah.
businesses, and everybody's just slow this year. Everything's down. So I
Have
don't know. You can chalk it up to economy, which I mean, as everybody knows, the economy's not great right now. Everything's
Yeah.
outrageous.
Right. All right. So talk to me about what the future looks like. I mean, what are the plans that you have on the vision board for, let's say, the next 3 to 5 year goal?
Well, next year is just hunkering down, stacking money, just making sure we got enough cash flow to cover, 3 to 6 months overhead if anything like this slows down. Seeing where we're going to spend our marketing ad spend, and then let's say we did almost 1 million last year.
Okay.
So just main focus is getting leads, closing leads, and just keep going. If we can expand, get some more checks on, um, just keep growing. I mean, yeah,
What
had a setback this year, but
what uh, what about what do y'all do for your club memberships? What does your maintenance program look like?
so our maintenance is 99 a year per unit. It's 2 visits, and then we just teamed up with Nuve. Got the Nuve thermostats. They got our logo on it. Get the contact information on it, which I mean that's great. That keeps you. You're trying to plug him in, but he does have a great product. I mean, you go to a thermostat and the logo's right there, contact information is right there. People ain't going to Google, they're not searching. I mean, customer retention is amazing.
What do you bill that weekly or yearly?
That's yearly.
Okay. How many do y'all have, and like what is your growth plan there for how y'all are picking those up? Is that part of every call y'all
So
go on? Y'all
yeah, that's every call. Every call gets pitched to the maintenance plan.
okay?
And then we'll do, if a call comes in for maintenance, we'll tell them it's usually 120. We'll run a special for 99. If you want to lock in the 99 price for lifetime, all they do is sign up.
Sweet.
Uh,
Um, in y'all's market, have y'all seen a lot of PE, and how has that impacted y'all?
Uh, Not a lot of PE. I don't know. Not that I know everybody behind the scenes and who's got investments going on, but I mean, where I'm located at, we got pretty. I mean, we got Hiller here, we got Lee Company, Cool Ray just moved here, so we got huge competitors.
You got some big boys.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, what I'm just trying to think of anything else that y'all have tried that you've seen work or not work, either from the operations side or from the marketing side, that you'd give advice to anyone?
Marketing, like I said, just be diverse. Um, get in the community. Like you want your brand to be recognized by people. You want people talking about it, neighbors talking about it. I'll get a customer. I'll ask them, "Do y'all got a neighborhood Facebook page?" And
Mm-hmm.
if they say, "Yeah," well, we'll give us a shout out on there. I'll give you 5% off, or just anything of that nature. Just get to spread the word.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to take note of that one. Right? I saw a garage door company do it on TikTok like 2 days ago, and I commented on there. I was like, I don't know who y'all are, but I said this will separate y'all from your competition. And it was he's just like standing there. He's like, I'm at Mrs. Jones' house, and we installed her garage door 2 years ago, but we're here just to do maintenance, and everything looks great. We did this, and this, and then all of a sudden he turns to the camera and he goes, "Hey, Mrs. Jones, how do you feel, we did?" And she just like started talking, and I'm like, that organic video content like that you can get the
Yeah.
homeowners involved, man, is super impactful.
Yeah. If you can get video content with homeowners, that's great.
All right, so I've got some rapid fire questions I'm gonna throw at you. Just shoot from the hip. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, childhood hero.
Man, did you hear about my childhood?
No,
I
I mean, look,
had great role models.
it could be Hulk Hogan, dude. It doesn't have to be a real person.
I hear you. Sting
Okay,
grew up in a wrestling house.
all right. Um, a famous person that you would want to have dinner with. They could be dead or alive.
Man, Paul Walker.
Okay, that would be a good dinner. Um, most adventurous thing you've ever done.
Besides prison,
Yeah, not a lot of people can say that.
uh, riding street bikes at 200.
All right. If you had to make a sudden career change, what would it be?
Something more consistent and inside.
Um, and my favorite question is: does Casey believe in aliens?
What about that one?
You don't know?
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, we hadn't met them yet, right? So,
It's a possibility. We don't know that we ain't met them yet.
all right. Well, stick around just for a minute. We're gonna wrap up the show. Casey, I appreciate you coming on, man, and sharing your story, sharing your growth, your setbacks, and then we'll have a follow up maybe next year to see how 2026 was for you.
Awesome.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on. Thanks.
No problem.